Hey Pisces, this is your general tarot reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon and Ascendant or Rising sign for the month of June. Pisces, let's do as we always do. We're going to shuffle the cards and wait on all the right ones to come out for you, my love. And in the meantime, let's talk about these unusual and fabulous energies that you may feel throughout the month. So, we begin at the beginning. We're leaving behind May, still feeling, as this card left out, the effect of that Scorpio full moon that happened in your 9th house, where you leave the month and it still felt a little bit of taking the higher moral ground, formulating an opinion on something and not being challenged by maybe some of those swamp creatures that came up with the full moon in Scorpio. People that came up maybe to challenge you or to dig at you or to come deep at you in some way, probing or trying to, I don't know, trying to get to you in some way. And maybe bringing their toxicity along with them on the journey of getting to you. And you said, wait a minute, I could go in all guns blazing here. I could debate, I could argue, I could kind of knock them down with just going stuck into it. But I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm just going to take the higher moral ground here. And I'm just going to kind of state my case in a non-argumentative way, but more of there, I've said it. That's all that needs to be said on this subject kind of way. And in some way you did kill whatever it was, whatever the situation was, by just saying, oh no, back away. There's my truth, there's my version of how this goes down, and I'm not going to argue anymore about this. So it was like that you survived the full moon in Scorpio and the many things that could have been brought with that by allowing yourself to pull back a little bit and not get drawn in, but also allowing the wonderful truth and information that came with the full moon in Scorpio to start having moments of, I see things totally different now. I understand things much better now. So a lot of wisdom, a lot of understanding, and a lot of feeling like I've done the right thing and taken the higher moral ground. That was the right thing to do. A lot of that kind of happened. So good on you, Pisces. The full moon in Scorpio could have been a very spiritual time for you, a time of study, a time of meditation, maybe even religious events, baptisms, weddings and so on like that could have been on the cards for you at the end of May, where you just felt in a good space, to be quite honest with you. Felt in a good space because you were able to be rising above the toxic shit that maybe some people were bringing to you around that time. So that was nice. Now, this month is really nice, by the way. The Sun in Gemini and Mercury is in Gemini as we enter the month, and that's in your 4th house, Pisces. And the 4th house is all about feeling confident in yourself, comfortable in yourself, putting a lot of energy into healing any doubts or fears that you've been having about you, your life, your skills, your talents, yourself. It's time to start putting those doubts away. And this is very important because actually I want to touch upon this really, Pisces. There's a real moment here this month where, yeah, you're going to have to turn something around and make a big sacrifice. And the sacrifice is a pleasant one, not an unpleasant one. The sacrifice is letting go of this need to doubt your own talents, skills, judgment, and trusting other people too much. You're sacrificing too much of yourself by handing it over to other people. So say, for example, you have a skill or a talent, you do some great work, whatever it is you're doing, that, and it seems to make you very, very happy. You can put your heart and soul into whatever this thing is. But you're there, you're presenting it, and you just feel, wouldn't I be better if I bent and twist what comes naturally to me in order for people to like it, in order for it to be popular, in order for it to sell, maybe in some cases, or in order to get that promotion, in order to do something, in order to be liked more? Wouldn't it be a good idea if I forgot my inner wisdom, forgot the heart and soul that I put into things, forgot how much this shit really means to me, and repackaged it in a way that I'm not happy with, but I'll wrap it up with a nice kind of paper and put a bow on it and hand it over, because I know that's what they want. I doubt that people want my real talent, the real me, the real heart and soul of me, the real expression of me. I doubt they want that, because I'm not trusting it right now. So let me just package up something that's an illusion, that looks like they're getting the real me, or that looks like they're getting my full talent or my full time or my full attention, and give that to them and pawn it off and say, look, you don't want the real me, so take that instead and be happy with it. So this is what needs to change here this month, Pisces. In all parts of your life, looking for love, in a relationship with your friends, family, the work, the things you're creating. If you have a real passion to be a certain way, to approach things a certain way, to give your heart to something a certain way, and you're getting signals from outside that you're interpreting as, well, that's not quite good enough. And so you decide, well, I'll bend myself or my talent out of shape and hand it to them, and maybe then they'll like it. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's a kind of cloudiness that's happening this month with Neptune, your ruler, retrograding, that makes you suddenly realize that that's not okay anymore. It's not okay anymore to have been misinterpreting too many outside signals that ultimately tried to change who you were. And were they trying to change who you were? Your friends, your teams and work, social media, the popular people, were they really trying to change you? Or did you misread the signals and say, in order to achieve success, in order to get fame, in order to get ahead, in order to get the promotion, I've spotted or interpreted that I need to do that? So it's a bit of a wake-up call, and you'll be very glad of it, Pisces, because it gives you that moment of release, where you don't have to do a merry dance and package yourself up in a kind of predictable way and pawn that off. You don't have to play that game anymore. Last month we talked about playing the game of chutes and ladders. Thank you, by the way, for that. Or snakes and ladders. It's knowing how to stay on the top. How to stay on the top is to be the most authentic version of you. And it might prove to be a challenge at the beginning, because people outside of you, friends and things, might say, what are you doing? This is not what people want. This is not how you're going to be a success. You can't do that and expect the money to come in. You can't do that and expect to get a promotion. And it will be a challenge, because you've listened to that for so long and doubted it for so long. Now you're coming home and you're saying, well, maybe I won't get the top promotion. Maybe I won't, if you're selling a business on the internet or something like that, or trying to sell yourself out there to the greater world. Maybe I won't achieve what the top people are doing, but I tell you what I will achieve. I'll achieve authenticity. I'll achieve that feeling of, I love who I am and I love what I'm doing, and I'm not going to sacrifice that shit for anybody anymore kind of feeling. And the strange thing is, Pisces, when you do that, you actually get the success. You see, no more playing to the crowd, no more going out looking for love for the singles and trying to be something you're not. No more being in relationships with anybody, business relationships, friends, family, trying to be something you're not. No more. Because it's your essence, it's your soul, and it's your quality that's sparkling right now. Neptune in the first house, forcing you to rethink that beautiful sparkle effect that you have going on in your aura. And Saturn and Pluto in your 11th house, forcing you to rethink how you've danced to the crowd, how you've sold yourself out in some cases. And painfully so, because you did it and didn't like it. So it's time to come home. Time to come home to who you really are, and take your eye off an unrealistic prize, and maybe go for a bigger dream, a bigger prize, one that supports the authenticity of what you're expressing in your life. So it's a deep and meaningful, but totally supported month where you have those realizations, you know. People buy your fantasy. People love you for the illusions that you create. Because we live in a world where people are saying, keep it real, keep it real, keep it real. And sometimes, Pisces, it's very difficult for you to say, well, part of my expression is to create, is to keep certain things unreal, to put the magic glitter over it, to offer people the dream. It's not a lie. It's just my beautiful way of doing it. But yet, social media and the world at large, keep it real, keep it real. And you're saying, that's too hard. That's too unfrickin' imaginative for me. Sorry. And the world is lacking terribly in imagination right now, which is why you're needed, Pisces. It's your imagination that breaks that stranglehold that society maybe at large has had on you. And I keep going back to that thing. Keep it real. Gotta be real. Gotta, say it out. Keep it authentic. And you're saying, but where's the magic? Where's the magic? Don't assume because I'm creating a fantasy that I'm lying. That's not what I'm doing. I am creating beautiful sacred spaces here for us all to take a frickin' holiday from the keep it real, got to work, got to this. Hello, don't you recognize what I'm doing here? So that is the energy for you, where you finally get that. And I like it. Even as I'm tuning into that energy, I like that you're coming to that conclusion that your beautiful fantasy self, fantasy soul, and fantasy world isn't in stark contrast to what out there needs. In fact, you are just what out there needs right now. You are what the future needs. Saturn and Pluto in the 11th house. It's you. And that's that magic that you bring. So never again doubt that. Never doubt it. And that's the wake-up call of never doubting it again. Because the Sun and Mercury in the 4th house is healing that inner self-doubt. Now, Mars is in the 5th house, and he's driving along that certain feeling of fun, passion, play, creativity. So you're, at the same time, while you're healing on the inside, you're also getting more creative and adventurous, willing to take risks, willing to dive in, jump right in to everything new in your life. You're like a magpie kind of this month, Pisces, where you're attracted to everything that's sparkly and glittery. Opportunities, offers of love maybe that might come your way for the singles, offers to maybe even move home, because Gemini season for you is maybe talking a lot about doing up your home, redoing a family situation, doing over things, like I said, in a family situation or in your home to create a better fantasy. But do avoid one temptation here. It's very tempting to get absorbed, say, on the internet, looking at luxury homes, luxury houses with big, gigantic infinity pools that cost an absolute fortune. Wonderful. Indulge in that fantasy. But kind of don't get all beat up about the fact that you might not be able to afford that right now. Hold on to that fantasy and say, well, maybe that's something I can work towards. All these glittery gold things, beautiful homes, beautiful lifestyles, beautiful everything. I can hold on to that and say, not today maybe, but in my future. If I'm really authentic with myself and not playing the game that other people want me to play, but instead playing an authentic game, then I can shoot ahead and go up that ladder and no snakes, So that's really nice. But I did say Gemini season is all about 4th house energy. A lot of issues coming up with privacy, sitting at home, sitting within yourself, meditating, getting quite emotional. New moon in Gemini on June 3rd. June 9th, Venus in Gemini in the 4th house. Now, for some of you, it could mark a real period where either you want a lot of private time, or the only people that you really want around you this month are family and very, very close friends. Doing family events, family things, going out to dinner or things with family. That's all that you really want. You want to keep it small and private, yet at the same time, you want to start the wheels moving about how do I think big? How do I get to afford these big homes with all those infinity pools and the big garden and everything? Huh? So it's keep it cozy, keep it good food, keep it private, and keep, maybe even this month, keep yourself kind of cut away from certain negative influences outside of you. Maybe friends who always want you to play a game that you don't want to. Just keep away from there this month and have more private time, because you have things to work out and things to be getting on with, Pisces. Yeah, but a lot of energy and a lot of money maybe around June 9th with Venus going into the 4th house, maybe buying impulsively for the home. Yeah, you just go out, you go to a store, you've no intention of buying anything, you see something and you say, I must have it, this is mine, it must be mine, give it to me. And you throw it on your credit card or whatever because you must have it. You must have it. But personal items too. Maybe you might get very indulgent with personal items, like things to do with personal grooming, you know, like nice oils, nice perfumes, colognes, things like that. You might be quite indulgent in spending money on personally treating yourself. Going to a spa maybe, something like that. For those of you who have the extra coin, it's, I want this quiet, relaxing time. Spending money on food too, paying for nice meals in restaurants or buying good, organic, wholesome food. Could be a lot of stuff going on like that. So it's all about feeling good. See, the point of it is nourish me, feed me. I had emptied myself out because I was so full of self-doubt, and I had handed it all over to friends and other people and society and algorithms, social media trends. I had trusted that rather than my own soul. So now I am literally, with the 4th house, feeding the empty part of myself. You know, so good food, good care, good even body oils or whatever. It's give me back what I had given away. Meditation, lots of stuff like that. So it's really nice. But even as I'm saying all that, it's the sparkle effect is strong. The sparkle effect, where, of course, I mean, your North Node is in the 5th house, where everything is golden, everything is sparkly, everything is about shining. But now, you, as I said, you recognize that the real sparkle is coming from your soul, and you're really nourishing that now to show that off, show off your talents in a more authentic way. So I like that. Now, for the singles, just want to say that this could be a month where you do invite love back to your home, or invite love into a private space. Like if you have a secret restaurant or cafe or a secret hideaway that's only for you alone, you might be inviting somebody to share that with you this month. So that's nice, inviting somebody new into your home. And for the couples, it's that thing of you and your partner. Family is everything this month. Family time, quiet time, private time, and resting, getting as much sleep, the two of you, as much as you can. That's so important too. Yeah, and using your intuition. It's such a gorgeous mixture, Pisces, of coming home to your gorgeous intuitive energy, feeding it, and knowing that as you're nourishing that all over again, it's gold to you. And that when you get topped up, when you get right topped up with trusting who you are again, then you're able to emit that sparkle, and you give off the sparkle effect. So it's beautiful, very nice. There could be great successes for some of you this month to do with something creative that you're doing, maybe it's a very personal thing you're doing, a personal journey, something that has your name on it, your stamp on it. I made this, I did this, I created this. This is who I am and this is what I do. Stamp my name on it and push it out. It's It's a big success for you this month, Pisces. Now, June 17th, full moon in Sagittarius in your 10th house. Could be a lot of pressure mounting up around that time to complete work, to finish work. Pressure to get something done. I've committed to this job. I've committed to this work. I have to just see it through to the end. There's a moment of standing up and taking full responsibility for something in your life around June 17th. Being a responsible breadwinner, being a responsible parent, being a responsible key figure in work, or in kind of standing up and being the alpha and saying, no, I own this. This is my responsibility. This is me taking charge of this, and nobody else. It's like the buck stops with me. I must be responsible enough to complete this work thing, perhaps. I must be responsible enough to commit to something on a regular basis even. It's like committing to this, like say for me, for example, every month I bring out videos, new videos. You might also be committing to doing something like that. I commit that every month I will do something, or every week, or every something. It's making a real solid commitment that you will do something. And that really works to your advantage, Pisces. Really does, standing up and making that commitment. But for some of you, I might see a total career change this month for you. Around the full moon, you might be so pissed off with how your career is going that some of you might square off with an authority figure or a key figure, maybe even the boss or a manager or somebody that you otherwise respect. And you might square off and say, this just doesn't work for me anymore. Something has to change in my career in general. Maybe I need to push to get that promotion or to get that next level shit going. Maybe I need to get you to listen to me more, listen to my ideas more. But it needs to happen, and I need to push it to go on to this next level. So there is a good bit of pushing going on, Pisces. Now let's push 4 remaining cards. That's the vibe of the month. We kind of leave the month with you very focused on work, very focused on your health, very focused on getting your work life streamlined and getting maybe your money organized a bit better too. So let me get 3 more cards. I'll just choose that one, yeah. Oh, that one kind of came out there, yeah. 1 more, Pisces. It's a really nice energy, really nice. And for the singles, there's a good opportunity for you here to shine in such an authentic way that when you do, you are giving off that beautiful love sparkle effect. So you could be very alluring this month and being a bit of the center of attention too. So you deserve it. Enjoy it while it's here. Pisces, let's bring some sparkle effect and magic to your ta-da grand overview. So I see you entering the month right now, coming up with some fabulous ideas, but they're not forceful ideas. This is a softer approach. This is a lesson, I think, that you could carry right through the month here, Pisces. The wonderful ideas, the wonderful things you've got on, the wonderful things that you're creating, even when it comes to love. If this is a flirty month, Gemini season, even if you're flirting with somebody, the singles, or even if you're trying to really impress somebody, there's a moment of not insisting, don't push too hard, but instead give off that magic glow. Let your authenticity, this is quite an Aquarius card, who is the king and queen of authenticity. It's like they do their life from a totally straight place, which often gets them into terrible trouble. But I'm not saying that will happen to you, but it's like sit in your authenticity. Don't push anybody to like your ideas. Those days are gone. Instead, go softer and say, here are my ideas. I'm inviting you to come see it. If you see what I do, I am sure you will like it. I am sure you will appreciate it. I'm not going to force it. Like that thing, I'm not going to force myself all out of shape in order for you to like me. Instead, I'm sitting back like the queen and saying, these are my ideas. This is my truth. This is my reality. This is me in my clearest space. No hidden agenda. no lies, no false illusion. What you see is what you get. And see who comes to you. See who comes to you. Because that will be more authentic. Yet at the same time, you will recognize there's a weird moment when you do that, where you might feel, oh my God, this is getting quiet. I followed what shebear said. I've done that. And panic. Is it working? Is it working? Maybe I should go back to the old way and try really hard to get people to listen to me, or to approve of me, or friends or the scene, or social media to kind of give me likes and things like that. No, stop. Even though there is that kind of weird lull, it will change. It will change. And maybe in that weird lull, you can have the opportunity to expand upon, say, fourth house stuff, which is Gemini season. What do I really want to communicate from the soul? The Queen is like, stop, hold up, hold everything. We need to double back, Pisces, and start having a good long meditation and consideration about what it is I'm trying to put out there in every part of my life. What do I want? What do I want with my family? How do I really want my home to look? What is peace and quiet for me? What is sincerity for me? What is honesty about what I'm doing in my life? I need that time to rest and really think about that. Some of you might also need a lot of time to sleep this month. Maybe you were very, very active and very busy last month, and you're saying, I just need to rest, and the only people I need to talk about or talk to are my closest people, my tribe, my very good friends and family. And even that's going to be at a minimum, because who do I really need to talk to this month, in the month of great communication? Me. The conversation between me and my soul, the conversation between me and spirit. And you're saying, isn't this all very metaphysical and airy-fairy? And listen, the majority of our world on the outside begins from the inside. If you can double back in and really nourish again what's happening on the inside of you, you will see that reflected in everything outside of you. That's why a lot of the stuff that's going on really in these months is all about deep self-reflection, because we need to do two things. We need to control, alt, delete a lot of the stuff from the past. We need to reset and kind of come back to ourselves in order to upgrade. So, excuse me, if we want stuff to happen outside of us, we do need to know that the majority of that is projected from inside of us. So if we fix the mechanics on the inside, we can open that movie theatre and project the good things into the reality of our lives. So we should never underestimate that. Even though at times it might sound airy-fairy, the majority of the success that you're striving for begins in here. So wouldn't that be a bad practice to neglect that shit? No. We have to take care of it. But you are sacrificing something. This is the energy of moving away from the crowd. And at times feeling like you've hung yourself out to dry. This is me alone in an awkward and weird position. But I'm gaining enlightenment from it. If you look at him, he is in that weird, awkward position, hanging from the tree of knowledge, let's say. It means a lot of things, but the tree of knowledge. And in that weird Jupiterian angle, Jupiterian in the 10th house, so a lot to do with your responsibilities and career, hanging myself in a different way, presenting myself in a totally upside down version of me that you've never seen before, that comes from in here, turning myself from the inside out, rather than the outside coming into me. It's the inside coming out to you, baby. And that it does feel initially like a sacrifice, but do it and it all becomes so much clearer. But yeah, I see sacrifices are being made. And again, another business card. So work life, home life does seem to be quite strong as we open the month. It's a lot to do with work and family, striving to have the right home, the right lifestyle, striving to do better in your life through the work that you're creating perhaps. This is often a card of buying and selling of something that you're passionate about. Like, it's not just selling some old shit like we talked about, it's selling something you're absolutely devoted to. That starts bringing you the rewards. You start seeing good news come in on your golden horizon. He's turning his back. If you notice the top row, he's just turning his back. And he's saying, I'm turning my back on the past because I've learned the lesson of the first 3 cards. And now there's my strength multiplied and tripled. I am now feeling so much stronger in myself when I trust my own inner motivations for doing something. And again, this thing of not relying on what people tell me I should do, but rather going back to listen to my own self again. But it is a mixed feeling here. There are strong emotions. There's fear and concern and doubt and disappointment that seems to come mid-month. And you say, this is awful. You're telling me it's going to feel like that? That's awful, isn't it? But the card beside it is saying, no, because this is your moment to get out of that feeling. This is deep sadness, depression kind of held inside. See, he's protecting himself. He's huddled over because he's saying, these are my hurts, these are my feelings, I've cried a river. But he sees that there's a bridge to get over the tears. Because even the first moment when he looks around, he sees that not everything is ruined, not everything is destroyed. So there's a certain frame of mind change happening here. From holding on, this is who I really am, people won't like it if I show it to them, this is my truth. I mean, will I lose popularity with my friends or even on social media if I show what makes me really happy? It's not going onto social media now. I'm not saying go onto social media and cry and this or and not like that. It's like bear the more beautiful aspect of you. And you're saying, oh no, but that's painful because if I give that away, maybe people won't like it. Yeah, but that's the point of this month. Getting over that fear and that sadness and maybe a previous disappointment where you did try to show your true self off and it wasn't met with any great applause. Give it another go. Take a big leap of faith and give it a go, because look, when you do take that leap of faith, love and the Piscean card, the High Priestess, even when it comes to love for the singles, take a leap of faith, not forcefully. The Queen of Swords is saying you don't win anything this month by hard pressure selling. You win it by being more authentic to yourself, being more authentic. It's really funny. My stomach, the energy is going crazy in my stomach here at the moment. It's like feeling excited again to do something that you love, or be with be in a new loving relationship, or rekindle the romance and love in your existing relationship. There's almost like my stomach is like going crazy here. It's like, can I do that? Can I do that? Can I bring that, like solar plexus, because that's what's going crazy here. Can I bring that joy and that passion back to my love life, the thing that I create, the passion back into where I see myself going, my future destination? The answer is yeah. You can get that whole solar plexus kind of full-on expression of happiness going into that again. Yeah, but love for what you do, love for your life. It's like a rejuvenation of, I love the space that I'm in right now. It's really nice. That's really nice. And the High Priestess, Pisces, then feels more like themselves again. You feel more in tune with yourself after nourishing and spending the few coin on maybe indulging in private things for yourself. Even private information, It's just, this is mine. I'm spending money on me, personally for me this month. And I'm taking care of me and indulging me. And this works, Pisces, because it brings you back to this beautiful place of being like the priestess, wise, and being allowed to use her wisdom. Her wisdom is revered. Her wisdom is sought out. Who she is not for everybody. Who she is can be dark at times. Who she is not all sunshine, rainbows and lollipops. She's the underworld queen. But she sits down there in a comfortable place saying, not everybody has access to me. This is not about not everybody likes me. It's you don't have access to me. I decide whether you come down to my throne room. So it's a total reversal, like the Hanged Man, a total turnaround, seeing everything from a whole new way. They come to see me, not me bending myself out of shape to please them. And that makes me happier. But Pisces, there could be a leap of faith into doing something new that you love. And I wish you every success with it. I really do. You deserve it. And the singles, a new leap into love. Just going for it, taking a leap, taking a dive, saying, I can do this. Inviting that person maybe back to your home. Maybe it's kind of doing it in that way, like I'm taking a leap of faith here, but I'm going to bring you to a comfortable place first, on my terms. Bit like that. But it's love, cup of love being handed to Pisces, and you also handing your cup of love to somebody or something. Now, coming towards the end of the month, this is June, wedding season usually in the Northern Hemisphere. This is a marriage card. Maybe at the end of the month you're celebrating by going to a wedding or going to a Cancerian birthday even. It might be a nice thing. But there's some event, certainly, that towards the end of the month that really forces you to see things in a whole new light. Everything becomes that much clearer. And it could be at this family event or tribe event, you know, with your good people, where you have a whole new understanding of what it is to love and have a whole new understanding of how to continue. I keep saying it for you recently, to play the game, but in an authentic way. You get victory by not always jumping in and forcing a situation, but victory instead by being more subtle, diplomatic, by pulling your energy back a little bit seems to be the thing, communicating from a softer space. But there are great big declarations of love. There is enthusiasm. I really feel it in my solar plexus, in my gut for you. The energy is just turning, and it's that release of joy and happiness. But you are putting, before this month is over, you're putting something into place that makes you happy. Be it a project, a career, a new love, romance being born again between you and your partner, doing pleasurable things with your friends and family. This is again that feeling of it's making me happy and I feel bright and enthusiastic. That's the big word. I feel enthusiastic again. And you do. And before this month is out, Pisces, I think people are going to recognize it's like a month's journey. By the end of the night, where did that come from? By the end of the month, people are saying, I see what you're doing. That's different. And they're starting to communicate with you on a more serious level. There might have been a moment where people didn't take you seriously because you were playing to the crowd, fitting in with a scene, doing what your friends are doing what the market predicts, maybe if it's in work or something you're creating. When you step away from that, then you get serious contact from people who are saying, I see what you did there, I like that. So there's a slow build of people starting to believe in you and your dream again, but on a real, these people know what I'm doing and I trust that they're going to be with me now for the long haul, because they're not frivolous, they're not flighty, and they're not asking me to dance in a way that doesn't suit me. And then at the end of the month, it's full charge ahead with your ideas. This is like air and fire energy, a whirlwind of activity as we leave the month. A lot of activity to do at your work, for sure. But it's pleasant. It's all about, I'm more enthusiastic to get this moving, to get this going. Solar plexus vibes, happiness, joy, enthusiasm, creativity, expressions that come from a very authentic place, and having that as your golden sparkle effect. Pisces, what gorgeous, 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 gorgeous energy, particularly that you'll feel more like yourself as the month progresses, happier. I love it, I love it. Pisces, as you know, this is the general energetic landscape of June. To get to the real details, the absolute fine detail, the nitty gritty, you know what to do by now. You know to come to the Vimeo readings, the deep read. They're linked down there in the description box below. Come along and we open up what's going on in your relationships. Singles, is there a big turnaround for you in love this month? I think so, I think so. Money and career, another big focus on that. Family, friends, and any other magic that we haven't touched upon here. We'll open all of that up in great detail in the deep read, the Vimeo readings, linked down there below. Come along, my beauty. It would be great to see you again. And if you haven't been there before, you might like it. Come along. Anyway, Pisces, enjoy this sparkle effect month and everything that it's bringing. And more than anything, enjoy the turnaround that's happening in you and give as much space as you can to feed it. Because, as we know, like the movie projector, what's going on inside directly projects what's outside. So it's best to make it quality. And you have absolutely every ability to make that happen. So Pisces, I'm going to leave you, as always, with all my love and a big sparkly effect kiss. Mwah, from me to you. Until next month, my gorgeous. Bye.